Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Exotic Powerhouse. So it is summertime right now, and I've been getting a lot of Lamborghinis coming through because it's very seasonal here in Toronto. And one of the cars that I do have is a 2014 Lamborghini Aventador that seems to be stuck in limp mode. So there's not much information available on this on the internet, so I had to really do some digging around, scanning and all that kind of stuff. And basically the car goes in limp mode, all the ABS lights comes on, the engine light is on, and the actual code is a coolant temperature sensor, which also trips out the ABS lights for some reason to keep it in limp mode. So what's happening, the car thinks that it's overheating. So what we're gonna be doing, I'm gonna be showing you guys is basically how to get to the two coolant temperature sensors that this car has, and further work that needs to be done to make sure that this problem is fully gone and fixed. So let me go ahead and show you guys right. So took this cover off here and found a whole lot of rust. So maybe I'm thinking the water came down and kind of messed up the sensor, but this complete intake manifold is gonna have to come off. And then the injectors underneath is gonna have to come off. And then I should be able to access the sensor then. So this is the old sensor. As you can see, completely broke apart while taking it out. This is definitely the cause of the problem. Now the problem is gonna be trying to get the rest of it out, which is, let's see if I could focus in there, which is stuck in there. So over time, rust destroyed it. And it was in this back end corner where all the water and the rust was. So over time, water got in and damaged this problem. But this is definitely the reason why it's in limp mode. The other sensor is over here, which I already replaced. Right over there, as you can see. That was the other one. That's more accessible, but that one is completely hidden inside that little valley in there, inside there. I got a new harness here, so I just cut this end. The new harness is going to be over there, so a new sensor, new harness, so problem will definitely go away. The other old sensor is here, so there's one and then there's two. So in between the two sensors you have two thermostats, which are over here, and I took the cover off. As you can see, this is a cover, and the thermostat sits right over in here. So let me just take this out just to show you. Let's see if I can get to that. So this is a thermostat, right? So we have two of these sitting in between the two. So I'm going to replace these two thermostats just to make sure that none of them are getting stuck open or closed while the car is running, and then throwing an engine light in between one of the two sensors. So two sensors, two thermostats. This will, I'm 99% sure this will take care of the problem. It did for the other car, and that sensor was stuck and broken. I did fix it. That took a long time. It was not pretty, but yeah, so far so good. I get the other sensor tomorrow. I should have this thing running mid-week this week. Fingers crossed, yours by end of the week. Fingers crossed, but yeah, I just thought I'd let you know. Otherwise, belt, pulley system, all that is new. Bearing in there is new, all that is good. Here's the sensor. Show you guys the part number for this. 059919523 Apple. And you could cross-reference it with this one too. I don't know what the difference is between the A and then the F. I just went ahead and got the A. It says A on this as well. I believe the F is a new superseded replacement one. It does come on the new Huracan Evos, but I don't know if the computer ECU on this Aventador can handle the F, but I just went ahead and replaced it with the A because that was the one in there. There's a lot of work done to this car. I also had to replace the tensioner And there's a little bearing that goes in there for the AC compressor and the idler pulleys as well. See if you give you guys a better look. So a brand new belt in there, brand new Lamborghini belt. And to get to all of that, I had to completely remove this whole section over here. To get to that, I had to remove this piece over here, and I had to get the shocks out as well. I had to depressurize the AC, and I had to basically take out coolant as well. It was a lot of work just to get to that. It's a very common problem of the idler pulleys breaking of the Aventador. So if you have a 2012 to 2015, 2016 Aventador, I really highly recommend that you go ahead and check if your bearing over there looks like if it's rusted, because this one was so bad, it was making so much noise and it was about to break, and the old tensioner as well, it was really bad. So, but we replaced everything since everything was out. So we went ahead and replaced all the bearing, pulley, belt, everything. So this is gonna be solid now. Here's the new bearing, original Lamborghini part. This is the old one that was causing the issues. It was in here, so we'll finally get that out. The new one came in, gonna press this in. This is gonna go in and then start put everything back together in over here. I'm gonna be using a new belt, obviously, along with all the new belts and pulleys. Just pressed in the new bearing for the AC compressor. This is the old bearing. Can't really hear it, but it's really worn out. It's really dried out inside, and this was about to break apart, so it's causing crazy amounts of noise. But I just got the new one. This is the part number for it. So I'll just press this in. I'm gonna put this back in, put the retaining nut on this C-clip, and then also what we're gonna do before putting everything back in the car, we're also gonna swap out these pulleys as well, because they're plastic and these wear out. And it's only good to do it, because otherwise if that goes, then we have to completely take everything off again. It's about 10 to 12 hours or something like that to take everything out. So it's good to have everything done all at once so you have a peace of mind. Here are the other new pulleys. It's the older ones. I'm gonna replace this one too, the tensioner, which is over here. So I have the lower intakes back on. I have the fuel lines back on, the vacuum lines, and I'm running the harness for the injectors now. And this is back on to the PCV breather valve. Just a one word of advice for this. I'm gonna tell you guys a really good tip. When you put the upper intake on, these are basically the 4 screws that it goes on. As you can see, one is missing. The reason this is missing is this car has a really bad design, as when it rains, all the water, since this is all open here, all the water comes in and it goes through and it sits in the little housing. And as you can see, it's very rusty. The reason it's very rusty is because the bolts that sit in there, water collects and literally sits here, and like you could just see it's just completely filled up with water. You could put your finger in there and basically it's just filled in with water and rusted it out. When that happens, the head basically gets really rusted and you can't really take it out. So don't over tighten these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put NPCs on them too. So you don't want to over tighten it as well. If you can't get it out, you can just kind of pry the intake up. The worst it's gonna do is it's gonna take this out with it. This is completely seized on, as you can see. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm just gonna try to use a plier, get this off, and then install new ones on the other side. But this is where the bolts through. So there's 4 bolts, holds it 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's a bunch of lines. It's very tricky to put this on.
ihm, ständige Frage, wie's weitergeht. Wann es sich besser lebt, wollte die Straße nicht weitersehen. Fand mein Licht, liebe Musik, ich halte nicht an, ich hab mich verliebt. Soll ich noch hinsehen?
I know it's a little bit loud in here and dark, but sorry about that, but I'm just gonna have to try to make a video as I'm testing. The last time it went into limp mode, the temperature goes up to about 70 degrees Celsius and then all the lights come on. So I'm just gonna have to sit here and idle and wait for the thermostat to open up. I'm gonna wait and see until it gets to operating temperature, which is about 90-95 degrees, and see if the codes come back. If they don't come back, that means the problem is fixed, and I'm gonna go ahead and take it for a short drive. If it does come back on, then I'm gonna have to take a look at it and see what else it could be. But I'm pretty positive that the problem is gone. That old sensor was stuck in there, and the old connector was also really bad. And put a new sensor, new connector, and new thermostats, and new sensor number 2. So I'm pretty sure that will take care of the problem. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'm just waiting and seeing until the temperature here warms up. So the last time when it usually gets to about 70 degrees, that's when all the dash lights pop up over here. But so far so good. I'm just gonna have to wait for it to warm up to 90 degrees. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna also make sure that there's no smoke or anything like that going on in the back. Finished the Aventador. Everything seems to be running perfectly fine. It's running smooth. I think the problem is fixed. It's not in limp mode anymore. It'll go to normal operating temperature above 90 degrees. I had it running last night for about an hour or so, 2 different occasions, and so far so good. So I could confidently say the car has been fixed. Let's take a look and see how it's running so far.
Alles nur Kämpfer, guck die Gag. Jetzt siehst du mein Papa stolz. Geh meine Wege, doch bleib immer humble, das machte mich anders.